Hey Emma, Miss Pam here. Hope you're having a great day. And we are ready to start our third reading lesson. And what I'd like for you to go ahead and get out is your book, a highlighter, and the sheet that we started yesterday, the one where we talked about the character. So go ahead and get that sheet out and just put it to the side because you don't need it right now, but you're going to need it in a little bit. Now the highlighter that I want you to get, I want you to make sure it's a different color. So if you notice, Miss Pam did her vocabulary words in pink. So today we're going to highlight our high frequency words, which means words that we see on most every page in a different color. All right, so what I want you to do is go ahead and get that highlighter out, your book, and before we open our book, I want to review our high frequency words together. So when I point to the word and read it, I'd love for you to read it with me, and then you can try them on your own. Are you ready? All right, here we go. Come inside my he. All right, now you try. Good job. All right, so I'm going to take these cards up quickly, and what I want us to do is as we read our story through again, we are going to highlight those 4 words when we see them. Okay? Actually, I think I'm going to leave these out just so it will help you remember what words we are looking for. Okay, you know what? I'm going to put these on the other side because I'll be flipping my book that way. Okay, make sure all these are on the screen. I'm going to zoom in just a little bit. There we go. All right, so let's open our book and point to the title, and let's read it together. Pillow Fort Password. Again, the focus question is, are the boys' rules for the pillow fort fair? Are they fair? And we'll talk about that at the end of our week. All right, let's review our vocab words. Okay, Miss Pam is going to say a word. Now I'm going to try to mix them up, and I want you to point to that word on your book. Okay, and then you're going to check and make sure you're pointing to the correct word on your computer screen. All right, so we have 6 words. I want you to point to the word wanted. Can you find the word wanted in your book? Did you point to this one? Good job. Thumbs up if you did. Can you find the word anyway? Anyway. Did you point to this one? Excellent. 2 thumbs up if you did. What about the word cookies? Do you see the word cookies? I see it right there. What about the word pillow fort? Pillow fort. Did you find it right here? Good job. See if you can find the word no. No. There it is. And last but not least, password. Can you find the word password? If you're pointing to that word, Emma, you are correct. All right, so let's open up our book to page 3. And I want you to go ahead and get out your other highlighter because after each page, we're going to highlight any of our high frequency words that we see. All right, highlighter down. Let's put our reading finger underneath the word my. And let's read first, and then we'll go back and highlight. Here we go. My brother wanted to come inside the pillow fort. Now, do you see the word he in there? I don't see it either. Do you see the word inside? I do too. Let's go ahead and highlight that word inside. What about the word my? I see it too. It's actually the very first word. The only thing different is it begins with a capital M. Now there is one more word that needs to be highlighted. The word come. Can you find that word? If you highlighted this word, you're correct. My, come, and inside. So those were our high frequency words. Words that we're probably going to see throughout our story. All right, so let's turn to page 4. Ready? Here we go. He did not know the password. I see a high frequency word. Let's highlight that very first word, he. Here it is. The only difference is it's an uppercase H because it's at the beginning of the sentence. All right, let's keep reading. Page 5. My sister wanted to come inside the pillow fort. All right, so Emma R., I want to see if you can find the 3 high frequency words on page 5. There are 3 of them, and you can refer to the cards that you see on the screen to help you out. I'll give you just a minute to highlight them, and then we'll check them together. Okay. Did you highlight the word my? And come? And inside? Thumbs up if you did. Good job, Emma. And if you left one out, it's okay. You can just go right along with Miss Pam. All right, let's keep reading. Page 6. She did not know the password. Do you see any high frequency words? I don't either, just our vocab words. Let's keep reading. Page 7. Let's get our reading finger out. Here we go. My dad wanted to come inside the pillow fort. All right, there are 3 high frequency words on this page. See if you can find them. Again, you can look at the index card to help you. All right. I hope that you highlighted the word my and come and inside. Those are our 3 words that should be highlighted. Oh, I just know your reading voice is amazing. I wish I could hear it. Okay, let's read the next page. Finger under the word he. He did not know the password. There's only one high frequency word, and it's the word he. So go ahead and highlight that one. Page 9. Start with my. My mom wanted to come inside the pillow fort. I see 3 words again. Let's go ahead and highlight those. My, come, and inside. Good job, Emma. All right, let's turn to page 10. It says, she did not know the password. Let's keep reading. Page 11. I let my mom in anyway. I see 1. Can you find the word my? I see it again. So there's only a couple of pages that don't have these words on them. Last page, page 12. People who bring cookies do not need a password. The end. All right. Good job, Miss Emma. All right, so now what I want you to do is I would like for you to get out your character and setting worksheet. Now, yesterday, Miss Pam talked to you about the word character. And if you remember, we know that a character is the person or people, or it could be an animal, that are in the story. It's who or what the story is about, okay? So I asked you yesterday to choose a character and to write a complete sentence about it. So hopefully you got that done. And what I want to do today is talk a little bit about this word. So go ahead and get your highlighter out. It can be any color you want. And the word that we're going to talk about today is pronounced setting. Okay, now I'm pretty sure Mrs. Mormon and Miss Pam have talked to you about the setting of a story. Now we know the character are the people, or the who, or the what the story's about. The setting is different. Okay, so we're going to talk a little bit about the setting. The setting of a story, and I'm going to use my whiteboard so you can put your eyes up here on the screen. It'll be fine. I'm going to scoot this down just a little bit, and I'm going to write the word setting. Let me zoom that in. There we go. Now the setting is very different from what the character is. The setting of a story is where the story takes place. And you don't have to write this. Don't worry about it. So the setting is where the story takes place. So let's think about our story from last week in the stable. Now we talked about how Aria and Duke, her horse, were the characters of the story. But if I were to ask you about the setting, what word comes to mind? Where did the story take place in the book, in the stable? Well, that's right. I was thinking the same thing. It took place at the stable. You also could have said it took place in the stall. And if you remember correctly, we saw Duke running outside in the field with another horse. He was rolling around in the dirt. So the setting in the stable had many places. So you could say that it had 4 or 5 different places where the setting was. But the setting in the story that we're talking about, I'm going to erase this, in our book only takes place in one area. Okay? So if you look at your book, here it is. If you look at your book, and you can just look at Miss Pam's up here on the screen, we see that on each page, pretty much the same picture. So we don't know for sure where the setting is. We know it's probably somewhere in the house, in the family's house. And if I had to guess, I would think that the setting is in his bedroom or somewhere in the house. So what you're going to do is, and you can put your eyes back up on the screen and get your highlighter out. The directions say to draw the setting of the story. So I want you to highlight the word setting. And then you're going to do the same thing at the bottom that you did over here. You're going to write about the setting. So I want you to highlight that again, that word again. So in the space over here where you drew a picture of the character, you're going to draw a picture of the setting. So you're going to draw a picture of what? His fort. That's right, his fort. That's where it took place, in the fort, somewhere in the house. Okay, so you can draw a picture of a fort. Now, what I'm going to do is give you Miss Pam's example, and then I'm going to have you finish that worksheet on your own. So again, you know Miss Pam is not a good artist, but I'm going to draw just a little square here. This is going to be my little fort with the little curtains coming down. And there's like the little door opening in the middle with the little boy peeking out. And I might label it fort. Now, I bet your drawing is going to be a lot better than Miss Pam's. But what I'm going to think about is a sentence about the setting. So it can be anything that you want to write about in regards to the setting of the story. Now, my first thought was, I noticed that he's got all kinds of things around his fort and on his fort. So I think my sentence is going to be something like this. I'm going to write it down here and you can just follow along. I'm going to write, the fort has a keep out sign on the front. Okay, let me move that up a little bit. So if you look at your book, here's his fort, and has a sign that says keep out. So my sentence can be anything about the setting. The fort has a keep out sign on the front. Or you could write something, the fort or the pillow fort is in the boy's bedroom, if that's where you think it is. Or you could say something like, the fort has lots of pillows around it. So anything about the setting that you want to write. Now, remember our 4 rules for a complete sentence. Okay, remember a complete sentence has to have a capital letter and an end mark, the naming part, and a telling part. So, who or what is our sentence about? That's right. It's about the fort. So I'm going to underline that in red. And what did I write that tells you about the fort? What am I telling you about the fort? I'm telling you that it has a keep out sign on the front. So you're going to need a naming part and a telling part. And remember, we call that type of sentence, remember we call that a fancy smancy word. We call that a declarative sentence. I am so sorry, Emma. My handwriting isn't very good today. So remember, a declarative sentence is a telling sentence that has a capital letter and end mark and a naming part and a telling part. So what I want you to do today is I want you to get your sheet out. I would like for you to draw a picture of the setting and write a complete sentence in the lines below. Don't forget to put your name and your date over here if you need to. And the date, gosh, I don't know what day you'll be doing this. It'll be in May, so you can ask your mom to help you with that. But go ahead and finish this up independently on your own and you'll be done with reading. Tomorrow, we will talk a little bit about a new skill called pronouns. So get ready. We'll probably read through our book one time and then we're going to talk about the skill of pronouns. You have a good day, sweetie. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.